Hello, hello. Welcome to episode number 2 of Dish with Devani Live, where I am going to be dishing out juicy business, marketing, and mindset content to help you thrive in your business and life. And I am Devani Freeman, and I am so excited to talk about today's topic. This is something that is, I think, really important to talk about. And what I'm all about is being real, right? Being authentic. And I think that the more we can really share, okay, what's working, what's not working. We see all these things online that is, make 6 figures and I had this big launch and I made all this money overnight, and you see all these people that suddenly, like, they're everywhere and their business is just skyrocketed. But really what we don't see is the 5 years of hustle behind the scenes. We don't see and hear about the emotional breakdowns and all that stuff, right? So I want to talk about that. If you're joining me here live, type in the comments where you are tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you, and say hello so I know that you're also watching and you're here. Hello, Joanna, and a few others. Thank you for joining me. So I want to talk today about setting the right expectations in your business. So it's really easy to look at what other people are doing and say, okay, those are the results that I'm going to have. Those are what I'm going to go for. Those are what I'm going to strive for. And I'm going to set the goal and I'm going to achieve it. So I'm going to tell you a story of something that happened to me in my business. And the reason why I'm going to tell you this is because I think that you can all relate to this really well, and I think that it will help you to know that you're not alone and to help you setting expectations and goals moving forward for whether that may be a launch, whether that's for Facebook ads, whether that's for revenue, whatever that may be. So I was gearing up for a launch of a course. Okay, now let me give you some context that I started my business with building and growing a social media agency, and also building and growing high-end coaching group programs. Okay, so that is where the bulk of my business and my business model for my first couple of years was focused on my agency, and then also high-end group coaching programs. Okay, so then about 2.5 years into it, I started to get my feet wet into launching online courses, okay? Because you want to focus building your foundation, right? And then how can I then leverage my time and bring in some other elements? So then I turned to course launching. And I had a vision of what I wanted to achieve for my first course launch. And I didn't set my expectations really high because it was my first one. I also had a product that I did that I priced really low. And so I got 30 people in that. I was like, okay, this is great. Like, this is exciting, right? So then fast forward a year later, I said, okay, I'm launching this next course. I want to have a $40,000 launch. Okay, my first launch was $4,000 that I made from that launch. I'm going to have a $40,000 launch. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be able to reach all these people. I'm going to bring in, I had these, team members all lined up for all this support. Like, I had this big vision, and I created that number based on what I was seeing other people in my industry doing, based on what I was hearing as far as numbers. And in my mind, it felt good, and in my body, it felt like that's a really big stretch. But I was like, you know what? I'm still going to go for it, right? So I go through the entire launch, and I go through the course, and I ended up not having a $40,000 launch, okay? Just to being completely transparent and open. And what I did have, though, was I had a $10,000 launch. And I was so disappointed. I was disappointed in myself. I made myself feel like I was a failure for having such a small course launch. And it's so interesting because if you think about it, shit, I made $10,000 in a week. But yet, I couldn't celebrate because I was comparing myself to what I should have done versus thinking, this is my only second course launch. I'm totally going after a new marketing strategy, right? I'm used to selling different high-end coaching programs, which that I'm like, okay, I could do this. Low end, no problem. And you know what? It worked out so perfect. Having a more intimate group. It was divinely set up by the universe, right? And it was such a good lesson to not necessarily don't set the bar up high, but to be realistic when it comes to expectations. So when we don't hit them, we don't go into the black hole. Like I went in the black hole for a little bit. I was like, this shit sucks. I was like, thinking, I was making up all sorts of stuff. Nobody likes my content. Like, I can't believe nobody purchased. Like, they don't see the value. Like, what is the point of me even doing this? Yes, Joanna, she says, it's nice to hear that even you suffer with it. Hell yes. Like, it's not easy moving people. You have to think, I know that all of you right now are following probably 10 different people at once, right? So we are all, we are all trying to grab attention of each other. We are so busy and so chaotic, and then it's getting somebody to understand, I am the person that you should invest and trust, right? And it's not easy. It's not easy to show up to get the attention, to hold the attention, and then to make sure that they truly see the value in the program that you're offering, right? And it takes time. And I have to remember that this is like the, first time that I launched this course. So also nobody really knew about it, right? First time I was really out and about with promoting it. So I share this with you to inspire you to know that you're going to hit a lot of failures and you're going to make a lot of mistakes before you get to the juicy stuff. And that there's a lot of people that don't tell you what goes on behind the scenes and don't tell you about the struggles. And so I'm here to share that with you and to know I'm totally real and I experience the same thing. And I can't compare myself of what happened with that as any sort of failure or as this isn't the right business for me, because that would be allowing myself to not manage my mindset properly. If all of these great people, Tony Robbins and Marie Forleo quit on their way because something flopped, and all of them had things that flopped, then we would be letting our ego and letting our fear win, right? So what I want you to take away from this video and from this dish with Devani is that you want to set expectations that is based and goals that's based on what you feel that you can produce, and really check in with your inner guides around that. And also look realistically, how much of a social media following do I have? How big is my email list? Am I giving myself adequate time to plan, prepare, and warm up my audience? Have I actually asked audience and got people raising their hands that they're interested in this? And to also know that practice makes perfect. So am I going to launch this course again? Hell yes. Is it going to be even bigger? Yes, but you know what? Even if it's the same, I'm going to be completely fine with it, because I'm so blessed to have the opportunity in my life where I even could create that amount of money in such a short period of time. I remember when I started my business, send me some hearts, people. I remember when I started my business, my goal was like, I just want to make $5,000 a month. I just want to replace my corporate America income, right? That was it, you know? And here I am having months of 17 and 20 and sometimes 30. It's like, holy shit. Like, wow. And it comes from, you know, really allowing myself to be grateful for every step and every struggle along the way and not quitting, and keep going and keep putting my message out there, even if I feel like nobody's watching or nobody's listening, because most of the time they are. They just aren't commenting. They just aren't seeing you. And understand, we're fighting for the attention of so many people, right? So know your tribe is out there and keep going. And I would love to hear from you also in the comments a question that you would like to ask me for any future Dish with Devani, any topics that's super hot for you right now that I could help give you some insights on. Sunshine says, our struggles give us strength so we can become better. Absolutely, girl. Amen. Thank you guys for joining me for this quick and juicy episode of Dish with Devani. If you think any of your friends will resonate with this, you love this truth telling and just being real, then please share. I encourage you, and I will see you again next week on my Facebook page. Bye.